All right. My name is Rich Reed, and this is my wife Ruth. And I was Dave's best friend. I was one of his best friends. And I got to know Dave 6 years ago when we started a Boy Scouts of America troop here at the church, or we were part of the leadership in the troop. And we very quickly found out that he had another rival boys program here in the church, and so he kind of sought me out, and we got together and started talking. And I think the initial concern was we didn't want to compete with each other. We wanted to help each other, and I wanted to find ways that our boys in the troop could maybe interact with Dave's group as well, and vice versa. So we did a few outings and shootings and fishing trips, and we never hiked or camped, but we did go shooting and fishing together. So that was my introduction to Dave. But then we moved out to some property out in Raymore and have a big barn, and so Dave asked me if he could park his trailer, and then it was 2 trailers, and then it was a trailer and a boat. Now he's got a trailer and a boat, and we bought a trailer from him. So I get to see him 3 or 4 times a month because he's always out at our place checking on his stuff. And then he'd bring his Extreme Encounters boys out a couple times a year. They'd come out and shoot on our property. So it was always a treat for us to get to see Dave as much as we did. You're right. When they were talking about in the service that he has a way of making everybody feel like his best friend, that's absolutely true. I felt like I was Dave's best friend, and it was really a privilege to be considered his friend. He really loved everybody and made you feel special, and loved boys, and really wanted to see them grow up to be godly young men. So this is a great ceremony today. He will be greatly missed by our family. We have 5 kids, 4 boys and 1 girl, and 2, and I think 3 of our boys got to go on these extreme encounters with Dave. So I know that he made a big impact on our family in a bunch of ways.
Yeah, and I was praying for Dave, just feeling just the mourning and the loss. So sorry. But as I was praying for him, I just heard our Heavenly Father say, "This is how I see Dave," and he had a spear and a shield by his side, and he was a kingdom warrior, and I will always remember that, of his prayer, his love, and his just service, and he blessed so many people, and he was definitely a kingdom warrior. So thank you.
Yeah, and I was talking with my wife about that, and they don't make bronze statues for every soldier, for every warrior.
The copper color.
They only do it for the very, very best ones, and so he was a generational warrior for the kingdom.
He will always be remembered.
And I just want to share one more thing that he did, the kind of man that he was. So I have a trailer that we bought from him. It's a little camper trailer, and I had a problem with it. The cable stopped working. The winch that lifts the trailer, the pop-up portion of it quit working. So it was David's. So I reached out to Dave and said, "Hey, do you know how to fix this thing? I don't know what happened, but I think I broke it." And he says, "Yeah, we'll figure out a time. We'll get together and we'll work on it together, and we'll see if we can figure it out." And then next Saturday, I called him to see if when he wanted to try to get together, and he's like, "Well, come on back and help me if you want." And he was already on our property. He was already out there. He'd come out earlier that morning with his tools, and he was back there fixing my trailer for me, and didn't even tell me he was coming and that he was going to do that. And that's the kind of guy he was. He even though it's not his problem to fix, he would bend over backwards to fix it for you, or to help you with your problem. And he was just that kind of a servant. So I really loved that man, and I will always remember that, and it's a good example for us. So,
Thank you
all right,
so much.
we love you guys. We're praying for you, Mary, and the family.